have been fighting it out in these rounds of debates. We have heard some fantastic discourses, debates that belie the age of people who have been making those arguments. Today, we have another such wonderful debate lined up. So without much delay, let us start. Today's debate, ladies and gentlemen, is between the Wisdom Global School, Haridwar, and the KiiT International School, Bhubaneshwar. We are literally spanning from the hills to the coastline. Before we start the debate, let me invite our neutral judge for today to say a few words first. We are very fortunate and privileged to have with us Mr. Philip Burrett. Mr. Burrett retired as the Deputy Headmaster of the illustrious Doon School after 44 years of serving across various educational institutions. He served the Doon School in various roles as a housemaster, as the Dean of Student Welfare, as the acting headmaster, but also as the Dean of Activities, where debate was one of the primary activities that he looked after. He's judged many, many debates over the years, and we are privileged to have him with us. Sir, if you can share your words of wisdom with the participants today.
Good evening, Shubayu. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Yeah. Okay. So good evening, Abhilakshita, Vishi, Debangi, and Haripriya. I will see your faces very shortly, but all the very best to you. Don't forget, you are very fortunate to be taking part in an international debate representing your school, and you are going to be followed by your school. This is a life skill that will serve you for life. Please you are so fortunate to be doing this for your school, and so many people are going to listen to you. So my word of advice to you is to analyze the topic, listen to your opponents, and try and engage with the online judges through your gesture, your expression, your tone, your voice, the pace at which you go, and the pauses. Having said that, all the very best to Wisdom Global School. You're not far from me. I'm just about 50 kilometers away from you in the Doon Valley. But for the KiiT Bhubaneshwar, I am very far from you, but I am not far from you in spirit. So all the very best. I look forward to some nail biting and very, very interesting debating. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for those wonderful words. I'm sure the students are taking heed. Before we start, we are extremely fortunate to be powered by Stayfree. Stayfree, as you all know, is a Johnson & Johnson's brand that works with women's hygiene and does a phenomenal amount of great work, particularly for young women just entering their puberty. Here is a short public service message that they wanted us to share with everybody participating here. So I will play that for you now.
मेरे पीरियड शुरू हो गए। पहली बार हो रहे हैं मुझे, तो काफी अजीब लग रहा है।
पीरियड्स में मुझे आसान काम भी मुश्किल लगता है, बहुत दर्द होता है।
मैं किसी के पास बैठ भी नहीं सकती, और जब मैं उठती हूँ बार-बार निशान चेक करती हूँ।
घर में एक ही वॉशरूम है, तो पैड चेंज करने में मुझे शर्म आती है।
मुझे पैड को कचरे में छोड़ना पड़ता है हर बार।
She may not understand what she's going through. She just needs to know. You do. Over 2 million girls will get their first period in lockdown. Your daughter or sister could be one of them. Talk to her. Tell her.
It's normal. It's just a period.
Well, after that wonderful and heartwarming message from Stayfree, it's time to move on to the debate. The topic we are debating today. This house believes surnames should be abolished. This house believes surnames should be abolished. When we chose this topic, some people felt it was too controversial, but then that's the whole point, isn't it? These are the two teams today from Wisdom Global Haridwar. Mrs. Priya Kalra is the adjudicator. Abhilakshita is speaking for the motion, and Vishy would be going against the motion. You guys can switch on your camera so that we can see all of you. Great, we can see you now. From the KiiT International Bhubaneshwar, Ms. Sunita Patnaik is the adjudicator. Debangi is going for the motion, while Haripriya goes against the motion. This would be the speaking order. Abhilakshita would open speaking first for the motion, followed by Haripriya speaking against the motion. Then Debangi goes for the motion, and finally Vishy going against the motion. Are we clear on the order? Judges, please note the columns on the score sheet are not in this order. So you'll most probably have to go column 1, 4, 3, 2. Right? All right. Looks like we are all set and ready. All the participants, remember you have 5 minutes for your first set of arguments that you've prepared for. And then we'll come back to you for 2 minutes of rebuttal. The judges will score you accordingly, first on 95 based on your initial arguments, and then the balance 5 points based on your rebuttal. Excuse me. I will stop the share now. Abhilakshita, before we start your debate, we would love to know you a little bit better. So tell us which class you are in, what are your favorite subjects, your hobbies, whatever you really want to tell us.
I'm Bhubaneshwar and I'm in 12th grade. And first of all, I'd like to thank Notebook and my school for this amazing opportunity for letting me express my views on this platform. It's a real privilege. About myself, I really enjoy reading. I'm a bookworm in that way. I appreciate different forms of art like painting and writing as well.
Wonderful, Abhilakshita. Being a bookworm, I think today or yesterday, I'm not very sure, happens to be the day when paperback books were first published. So maybe that'll carry you some good luck. So good luck with your debate. And if you're ready with your arguments, we will start your time now.
As you heard in my introduction, I am Abhilakshita. Neither my mother's Aurora nor my father's Chauhan. It's just Abhilakshita. Why, you wonder? Guess being the result of an intercaste marriage and multilingual doesn't agree with this caste-oriented society. And when being questioned, not every kid is that excited to recite their parents' Indian version of How I Met Your Mother to every other person they meet. And being from quite a supportive family helped me to legally get rid of my last name at the age of 11. So, surname, a legacy passed down by generations and generations of forefathers, or a curse. Firstly, we all know what surnames are. Their purposes stretch from differentiating people to carrying forward the history of a clan. A surname or a last name tells us a lot of things about a person's ancestors, social, cultural, and geographical background. It also states where they stand according to the wide and thick register of India's caste system. The corollary of this is that a person's caste can be discerned by looking at just their surnames. Though it sounds like old news, but casteism still exists among us. Even after the abolition of untouchability and discrimination on the basis of caste, it is still adamant in lesser known parts of our country. How? All credits are directed towards its one of the major flag bearers, these surnames. These surnames that categorize people and autofill their status in the society are ones no one asked for in the first place. They were just casually passed down by their loving ancestors who themselves suffered at their time. So why leave future generations out of this torment, right? All sorts of inhuman acts of violation and humiliation are committed within our community under our noses, which scars and shapes the future generations of such unfortunate sections rather tragically. You name a hate crime, and I can bet it has been committed not once but multiple times. I mean, you can pick up a newspaper any random day, open the classified section, and the next thing you will find are the trademarks of pure, unadulterated racism and casteism, all disguised under surnames. Brahmin girl wanted with fair skin for Agarwal boy with so-and-so income and qualification. Coming to girls and women, most cultures have the tradition of children inheriting their father's family name to establish family pride and inheritance. So, what about women's culture? The wife's family culture should have equal importance in preservation. One of the reasons why so many infants were killed by the Indian, Chinese, as well as Pakistani culture is because the poor families see no value in raising female children if they can't even serve to pass down the family name, that is, the surname. Even in the 21st century, there are cases being reported of female infanticide due to the aforementioned reasons. I do think surnames play a role in passing down culture, but at what cost? Does it justify murdering one's kin? Also, how does changing surname after marriage not encouraging the rule and support of patriarchy? Like, come on, it is basically branding paternalism. How does it even make sense? People changing their whole identity by replacing a non-consensual name they've got, and that doesn't even sums it up. A woman is supposed to, her opinion isn't really even taken into account, and if she dares speak against it, she's said to bring disgrace and to the society and her family. Hell literally breaks loose. And I'm not even making this up. This is what my grandma told me when I asked her how come she didn't take my grandfather's name after marriage. She just shrugged and told me because he didn't take mine. And she couldn't continue to explain how big of a deal it was back then because I have seen how big of a deal it still is. I firmly believe that surnames cause more harm than good, and the usage should definitely be abolished. Thank you, and over to the moderator.
Well done, Abhilakshita. We had no idea that this topic would hit so close home for you. My congratulations to your grandmother. I think she did a bold thing back in the day and very well debated. Let's see how the judges are scoring you. I can see the scores coming in. Priya ma'am, I have your score. May I take that as final, please?
Yeah, sir, I'm sharing it.
All right. Whenever you tell me that that's your final score, I will know the score.
Yeah. So did you receive the score?
Yeah, I can see the score. Thank you so
Thank
much. Sunita ma'am, I don't see you scoring as yet. If you can just go over to the Google sheet. Burrett sir, I have your scores. Can I take that as final?
Yes, Shubayu, go ahead.
Thank you so much, sir. Sunita ma'am, can you confirm you have access to the sheet? Sunita ma'am, if you're there, can you just confirm if you have access to your scoring sheet? I don't think Sunita ma'am can hear me. Devangi, would it be possible for you to give a call to ma'am and check if she's still online on the session?
I'll call ma'am.
I think Sunita ma'am has dropped off. Really sorry for the delay. Just give us a couple of minutes and let's see if we can get Sunita ma'am back. If this was a reality TV show, we
Sir,
would have.
I called her. She's telling us she's facing a network issue, but she's sending the marks.
All right. Thank you so much, Devangi. Earlier today at 3 o'clock, we had another debate where we debated whether going digital is increasing inequalities. Connectivity was one of those things that were majorly debated. I can see Sunita ma'am plugging her marks in. I hope she rejoins the session as well. Sunita ma'am, thank you for joining back. Sunita ma'am, can you hear me? Abhilakshita, just a couple of more minutes. The marks are coming in. She's already filling them in. I will have them tabulated and put up in a short while. Ma'am, if you can hear me, I will remove the score for the rebuttal for now. We will pick that up after the rebuttal round. And may I take you the rest of your score as the final score for this round? Well, the score seems to be holding constant, so I will take that as a final score. In case she changes later, I will update it. Abhilakshita, if you can see the screen, these are your scores after your first 5 minutes of debating up on your screen now. Very well done. Haripriya, you are up next. Before we start the debate, let's get to know you a little better.
Good evening, everyone present here. I'm Haripriya Sabat of grade 9 from KiiT International School. I would firstly like to thank my school for letting me express my views on the topic in such an amazing platform. And coming to my hobbies, I love dancing. So I'm here to speak against the motion. Surname should be abolished. Surname has its own role to play in our society, not just in India.
Haripriya, just hold on. Sorry. We will start your time, right? If you are ready with your arguments, we will start your time for the debate now.
Okay. Surname has its own role to play in our society, not just in India, but also in the Western countries. People have surnames or last names as they call it. The basic function of surname is to differentiate people if they're having the same name. For example, there might be more than 5 or 6 Haripriyas, but I don't think there are more than 2 Haripriya Sabat. Now that makes my name unique. This differentiates me from others. This makes me feel unique from others. Like there might be many Alberts, but there's only one Einstein. Now that's the impact a surname has. Surnames also shows respect to our forefathers. It's not like it's compulsory to take on the surname. It is a way of showing respect to our ancestors. And coming to the problems of religious differences between people, it's not really the fault of surnames. It's the mindset that people have. Like people have made a mindset that a particular surname, that means that the person belongs to a particular religion, caste, creed. If we try to change this mindset of people, then the problem can be solved. It doesn't mean that we need to abolish slavery. We can make campaigns, we can create awareness among people that we shouldn't categorize people on the basis of the surnames. It is said not to look at a person's surnames or name. It doesn't mean that they should not exist. This simply means that people should stop characterizing people just hearing the surname. If surnames don't exist, there will be a lot of confusion. There might be many names. For example, in a school of 200, 400, 500 students, there might be many people of the same name. And while announcing things, there might be a big confusion that may lead to dissatisfaction among people. Like a person gets prize and the other person thinks that I should get the prize, like my name was called. So there'll be a lot of problems and confusion. So I think surnames shouldn't be abolished, as the effectiveness of surnames still perpetuates our minds and our perspective in our daily life. It still has importance in our society. It is the key that makes a person's name and unique and also makes them feel unique. Thank you.
Thank you, Haripriya, keeping it short and sweet. Very well argued. Let's see how the judges are scoring you. Judges, Haripriya's scores go into the last column on your right. Priya ma'am, I have your score. Thank you.
Just a moment. You got this?
Sure.
I need to change a bit here.
I'll only take the score once you confirm, ma'am, not before that.
Sure, sir.
Sunita ma'am, may I take your scores for Haripriya?
Sir, I'm done.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah.
I can see Burrett sir's scores as well. Thank you, sir. I'll take that.
Yes, Shubhayu, go ahead.
Thank you so much, sir. So Haripriya, if you can see the screen, these are your scores after your first 5 minutes of debating up on the screen now. I must congratulate both the judges. It's not often that we see the two judges scoring such similar scores. This really shows how teachers are doing a fantastic job of judging so many of the debates. And Devangi, you're up next. As with your friends, before we start, we would love to get to know you a little bit better.
Good evening, everybody. I am Devangi Pal Chaudhary, representing KiiT International School, Bhubaneshwar. I'm from class 9C. I love nature and I love reading books of Rabindranath Tagore, big influence in our family, and I love spending time with family.
Wonderful, Devangi. Devangi, I must warn you, there's a bit of a lag on your video. Your connection might not be very good, but don't worry. If in case there is a glitch or a technical problem, we will pause the time and we'll wait for you to join us back. All right?
Yes, sir.
Great. Because your audio is very clear. We can hear you perfectly fine. So,
Yes,
Devangi,
sir.
if you are ready, we will start your time for the debate now.
Yes, sir. So, good evening, everybody. I'm Devangi Pal Chaudhary, representing KiiT International School, and I'm going to speak for the motion. Rakhi Birla is a young journalist and a cabinet minister for children, women, and social welfare in the Delhi government. Recently, she has changed her surname from Birla to Bidlan. Bidlans are considered to be inferior in India. They are seem to be of modest means. Hence, by changing her surname, she claims that she'll be able to reach to a more number of underprivileged children. This brings us to the topic of our debate. What is more important, surname or competence? Our Prime Minister Narendra Modi has given a clarification for this. He told in his speech that he wants a new India where surnames don't matter. What matters is one's ability to create one's own name. Hence, the new buzzword aspiration has the power to outweigh the influence of surname. Having surnames can also lead to malpractices like nepotism. We have all seen people getting special privileges for having the so-called right surname. And who can get over the traumatic demise of Sushant Singh Rajput, who was mocked, sidelined, and alienated for being an outsider in the Indian film industry and for not having the so-called right surname? Having surname can also lead to social evils. Like one of my friends said that when a child is born, they take their father's surname, and when a woman gets married, they take their husband's surname. We all agree it's a patriarchal society. But as more people are voicing their opinion on gender inequality, it's our duty to slowly move away from this patriarchal society and to usher in a gender equal society. Hence, I support the young leader Narendra Yadav in his legal battle to drop surname. As I told, I would like to end my speech with Tagore's words. Tagore, through his various works, has appealed to all of us not give emphasis to surname, but to rather celebrate the humanity within all of us. That's why he penned the lines Je ma nobu tumi, she ma nobu ami, which summarizes my views in this platform. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Debangi. Wonderful arguments there and a very strong ending with Rabindranath Tagore's words. Let's see how the judges are scoring you. Sunita ma'am, may I take that as your final score?
Yes, I'm sending, sir. Just
Thank you so much, sir. Sorry, ma'am. Priya ma'am, may I take that as your final score?
yeah, sir. So I'm done.
Thank you so much. Sir, I have your scores. May I take them as final?
Yes, Shubhayu, please.
Thank you so much, sir. So Debangi, if you can see the screen, these are your scores after your first 5 minutes of arguments up on the screen now. All right, and Vishy, you will have to go after your three friends have spoken. You've heard the arguments already, but I'm sure you have your prepared first 5 minutes of arguments ready for us. Before you start with those, we would love to know you a little bit better.
Hello everyone, my name is Vishi Sachdeva and I'm a student of class 11th of the Wisdom Global School. And if I talk about myself, I'm a person who loves to be a part of extracurricular activities and I love to play. I love music actually. It's kind of, I'm trying to learn guitar even right now. Thank you.
Wonderful, Vishy. Then I guess all the guitar riffs that we were playing before we started the debate must have delighted you. Well, all the best. And if you're ready, your time for the arguments start now.
Okay. A surname is very important. You know why? Because it connects you to your past, to your family. Even your name has a meaning. Why do you think your parents picked that particular one? Hello everyone and good evening. My name is Vishi Sachdeva and I'm a student of class 11th of the Wisdom Global School. And I personally believe that surnames should not be abolished. India is a thriving land of myriad of languages, music, art, and cultures. The culture of India is a way of life for millions of people living here. They influence clothing, languages, traditions, food, and let's not forget names. In India, the last name is basically a family name that passes on from generations to generations to generations and so on. It is basically a part of your identity, a part of who you are. It makes you who you are. I do love and adore my name and my surname because it makes me feel proud of the lineage that I'm carrying right from my birth. Sometimes we try to live up to our names, sometimes we try to run away from them. But either way, for all the possible options in between, your name is a crucial factor in developing a sense of self in you and thus helps you propel forward in various parts of life and career. Many of us here might think that if we stop using the surnames, It will abolish the caste system. But will it though? Unfortunately, no. Somebody may claim that Tamil Nadu is a caste-free state and nobody bothers about others' caste. But let me tell you, my friend, the difference between Tamil Nadu and different states of the country are very little I might add. Losing caste surnames is losing one's identity and their past ancestral professions. And one thing, for all the people who believe that dropping surnames will end casteism, oh please, focus on one thing, that it is not our caste that discriminates. It's the people who carry these names. So if you really want to change something, change people's mindset, change their perspective towards caste, change what they believe about people being untouchable or anything. The moment we do that, we have our identity with us and we have fought and won over the social evil known as caste system. Come on, people. Now let's get basic and practical over here and let's not throw ourselves under the rules made by these pretentious humans. Surname has its role in the society, and not only in India, but even in West. Some people have surnames or last name as they like to call it. Most people also have middle name. So the basic need of the surname is to differentiate you from the other people with the same name. Okay, you know how nomenclature defines the name of an animal in animal kingdom? Like genus and species name? It's the same way as surnames for humans. Let me explain that by an example. For example, the binomial nomenclature for a cow would be Bose Taurus, Bose as its genus name and Taurus as its species names. And in the same way, my identity is Vishi Sachdeva, Vishi my first name and Sachdeva my surname. And again, I'm adding, it includes my surname. That is what my whole identity is. In the world out there, I will say I'm Vishi Sachdeva, not only Vishi. Your surname tells a lot about your roots, about your family, about your place of origin, and etc. And I believe that this is one of the reasons that passports have our names written first and then our surnames. And the same reason the players playing on the field have their surnames written on their jerseys. So I would like to conclude by saying that there are thousands of Alberts but only one Einstein, thousands of Adolfs but only one Hitler, crores of Narendra, but when we hear Modi, we recall our PM. And that's the impact the surname has got. Lastly, it's the family name that lives on. It's all that lives on. Not your honor, not your personal glory, but the family name. Thank you. Over to the moderator.
Well done. I shall henceforth refer to you as Miss Sachdeva. And that
Thank
condenses
you.
the arguments. Let's have your scores. Judges, you have the scoring sheets. Priya ma'am, Sunita ma'am, if you can confirm, I'll take those scores.
Yes, sir. Mine are
Yes,
confirmed.
sir.
Thank you
Yes,
so much.
sir. Yes, sir. Mine is confirmed. No. Yep.
Sir, may I take that as your final score?
Yes, Shubhayu, please.
Thank you so much, sir. Just a minute. There will have to be one small change made before I can show you the scores, Vishi.
Sure, no problem.
And I'm sure you would like the change that I made. So if you're looking at the screen, Ms. Sachdeva, here are your scores. Some very, very high scores there. Very well done. This is when we come back for the rebuttal. Abhilakshita is back to you for 2 minutes of rebuttal. Remember, you're not rebutting the opponent's school, you're rebutting the opposition bench. So Abhilakshita, you're going up against Haripriya and Ms. Sachdeva now. And you will have to rebut the points that they made. Similarly, the other team will, rebut your points. If you're ready, Abhilakshita, let me just stop my share. If you're ready with your rebuttal, we will start your time now.
Both of my fellow debaters mentioned that there are thousands of Alberts, but only one Einstein. As for the Adolf Hitler, did his personality run in his bloodline? So let me tell you, Albert Einstein's name didn't help him become what he is. It was his potential, zeal, passion, determination, and enthusiasm. Or Modi ji, we all know he worked hard, served tea during his childhood. So even if he was Narendra Singh instead of Modi, won't he still be our Prime Minister? How did their surnames come into this? As for unique identity, for instance, there can be a lot of Karans in the world, but probably not many Karan Vishwakumars. So surnames could be used to distinguish person from person, but well, not by a whole lot. If you do search online today, you'd probably find that you are not the only Karan Vishwakumar in the world. Especially if your last name is one of the more common ones like Sharma. So it seems like surnames also lost their value in identification game due to increased population. Now, let me tell you, surnames have proven to be nothing but an obstacle for numerous talented individuals in the history. There are people who had to adopt to different surnames, otherwise they faded away in the pages of history, despite their remarkable works. For instance, 20th century poet W.D. Snodgrass, despite being a truly great poet of what we today call confessional poetry and a hero to Robert Lowell and Sylvia Plath, was never as renowned as them, forgotten due to a funny surname. Many of such personalities are termed as the ones with the funny names. Shakespeare himself was sneered upon by many critics, but unlike the other poets and authors and playwrights who were picked upon, he kept writing, but about peace and kings and other things, and so lost his name but became himself. Thank you.
Well done, Abhilakshita, taking on those points. Very heady rebuttal. Let's see how your friends do. Judges, please put in Abhilakshita's scores out of 5 in the 9th row. Priya ma'am, I have your score.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have given the scores.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Burrett sir, I have your score as well. Sunita ma'am, this would be in row 9. Yes, I have Sunita ma'am's score as well, but the evil moderator won't show you your scores. What we'll do is we'll finish all the 4 rebuttals and then show you your totals and your average scores. All right. Up next, we have Haripriya. Haripriya, if you are ready with your rebuttal of the opposition bench, we will start your time now.
Yes, sir. As the fellow debater mentioned, that the people, the newcomers, they don't really get opportunities due to the surname problem. Is that really, like, do you really think so? But if you see, there might be many Bhatts. Does that mean they belong to Mahesh Bhatt's like lineage? Like, if we change the mindset, if like people stop thinking that we have to carry on and give chances to the people with same surname, then nothing can be done. If they change their mindset, then only the problems can be solved. If they change their mindset, they have to change their mindset about this. They like, do these problems really occur in the Western countries? I don't think so, because in India, the people have made a proper mindset that this surname has to be of this family. But for example, Siddharth Malhotra, is he a relative of any other Malhotras in the Bollywood? Not right. So I don't think that it's really the fault of the surname. We have to change the mindset. It's like, I don't think we should abolish surname. We have to change the mindset. Mindset is the key thing to all these problems. Thank you.
Thank you, Haripriya, taking on all the points in one go and one single structured rebuttal. Well done. Let's see how the judges are scoring you. Burrett sir, I have your score. Thank you. Priya ma'am, I have your score. Thank you. Sunita ma'am, I think it will have to move by one column to the right. But if that's the score, I'll take that. Thank you. All right. Now that we have Haripriya's scores, it's Devangi's turn. Devangi, if you are ready with your points for the rebuttal.
Yes, sir.
We will start.
As my fellow debater said, that it depends on the mindset of the people. But tell me one thing, is it easy to change mindset of the people? Can we change the mindset in just one go? No, it's not possible. But abolishing the surname can be one's initiative to change the mindset of the people. The discrimination of caste, religion, and gender can be avoided if we abolish the idea of surname. And as my friend said, that there are many people, there are many newcomers in the industry who are able to survive. That's true, but tell me one thing. There's so many people who are in the dim light, who we don't see, but they're unable to get a chance in any industry, not only in the film industry, for being an outsider, for not having the surname. People with a so-called right surname are always given priority. According to me, surnames don't matter. What matters is our achievement, our talent, our contribution towards the society, which creates our identity. It's not our forefathers or their fathers who make who we are. It is we who we make ourselves. Why will our forefathers, their fathers' identity be combined with our identity? Our identity is only our identity. Hence, I believe that our contribution towards the society and our achievements makes our identity and not any other cells. And we simply can't ignore the problems which surname cause, whether it's nepotism, whether it's gender inequality, whether it's religious differences, caste differences. If people ignore it, but it occurs. Even today in villages, these issues still occur. So we should not ignore this, and we should try to change the mindset of the people, as one said, by abolishing surnames. That can be an initiative and a very important step to change the mindset of the people. Thank you.
Well done, Devangi. Strong rebuttal there. Let's see how the judges are scoring you. Sunita ma'am, I have your score. Priya ma'am, I have your score as well. Just give it a second. I'm sure Mr. Burrett's scores will come in right away. And we have your score, sir. Thank you so much. And now it's Vishy's turn. Vishy, if you are ready with your rebuttal points, we don't see you on camera. You would want to, yeah, now we can see you.
Sure.
So Vishy,
Am I audible too?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay.
So if you're ready with your rebuttal, we will start your time now.
Okay. Well, surnames. Well, my fellow contestants and my debaters said that it's an obstacle. Surnames are an obstacle. I don't believe that. Well, when you achieve something, you see that proud feeling in your father's eye. As a daughter, I am very connected to him. And when I see that proud feeling when Vishy Sachdeva is announced loud and clear on the stage, it gives me great leisure. Well, surnames are made fun. Well, that's not the fault of a caste or a surname. That is the fault of the people who make that. Have you ever seen any caste coming on its own? No, it's the people, right? So changing people's mindset is the main motive that should be there, not dropping the surnames. And social media, must have seen social media that there are so many campaigns going on, and people are using hashtags explaining that we should not drop the surnames, but we should abolish casteism. It's not easy to change people's mindset. And I agree to that, it's not easy to change people's mindset. But is it easy to drop one's identity? I don't think that leaving your identity is easy. When I will be not called Vishi Sachdeva, I will feel weird, right? So will you. And if not surnames, then people will find something else. Anything they will find to, differentiate you on the basis of anything. All people need is to push them up and pull you down. I think that's what you will agree to. And you also believe that surnames differentiate person, and differentiating is the main thing, that we all are unique in our own way. So if not surname, then it could be color or creed, the nation we belong to, anything people will find. And achievement and talents, they do matter. Yes, forefathers are our ancestors. Their respect is very important. We respect it. Don't you respect your parents? Well, I personally do. So that is by using their surnames and respecting them. And so that was my rebuttal. Thank you.
Well done, Ms. Sachdeva. Let's see how the judges score you. Judges, if you could please put in Vishi's scores on the score sheets. Burrett sir, I have your scores. Thank you. Priya ma'am, I have your score as well. Thank you. And Sunita ma'am, I have your score as well. Thank you. Burrett sir, if I can trouble you for a second, Devangi scores, can you just go through the list once and confirm if some number has changed?
Okay, I'll just check Devangi. Yes.
Not to worry, sir. We'll fix that in a second. I'm sure the participants are eagerly waiting for their scores.
Is it okay? Is it okay now? Just take a total.
Yes, sir. Seems fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, the participants are eagerly awaiting their scores, and we will keep them in suspense for a little bit longer, because this is when I get to tell you about Notebook. Notebook, the company that is putting this entire debate together, is an EdTech app. Essentially, if you are studying in school, we use videos, very short, crisp, 6 to 10 minute long videos, to help make studying more fun and more engaging for you. Every topic that you find in your textbook, any class, any subject, we have a video or a set of videos made for that. The teacher can use these videos in the classroom, whether it's an online class or an offline class. They can use these videos to start off the lecture. When you go home, maybe 6 months down the line, when you have your terminal exams, you can refer to these same videos to revise your topics. What I will do now is show you a small clip of one of the Notebook videos so that you know what exactly I'm talking about. Can we roll the clip, please?
Hello students, welcome to Notebook. Have you heard the name Tansen before? Did you know he is considered one of the greatest musicians produced by our country? He was also considered one of the 9 jewels of King Akbar's court. In Behat near Gwalior lived Mukandan Mishra and his wife. Their only child, Tansen, was a very naughty boy. He would run and play in the forest. Soon, he learned how to imitate the calls of birds and animals. One day, the famous singer Swami Haridas was passing through the forest with his disciples or students. They decided to take rest in a shady grove. Tansen saw the strangers in the forest. He decided to scare them. Hiding behind a tree, Tansen imitated the roar of a tiger. The disciples scattered in fear. Swami Haridas told them that tigers were not always dangerous and decided to look for the tiger. Soon they realized that there were no tigers. The naughty Tansen was found hiding behind a tree. When he was brought before Haridas, he did not punish Tansen. Instead, Swami Haridas went to Tansen's father. He told Mukandan Mishra that his son, although naughty, was very talented. Swami Haridas offered to make Tansen a singer. From the age of 10, Tansen lived with Swami Haridas. He learnt music for 11 years and became a wonderful singer. Sadly, however, Tansen's parents soon died. Mukundan Mishra was greatly devoted to Muhammad Ghaus, a holy man who lived in Gwalior. It was Mukundan Mishra's dying wish that his son Tansen would visit Muhammad Ghaus. Tansen began living with Muhammad Ghaus. Tansen would often visit the court of Rani Mrignani, a talented musician herself. One of the ladies of Rani Mrignani's court, Hussaini, married Tansen. She too became a disciple of Haridas. Tansen and Hussaini had 5 children, who were all very musically gifted. Tansen's fame grew and he went on to perform in Akbar's court. Akbar invited him to join his court. Tansen joined Akbar's court in 1556. He became a favorite of the emperor. It was said that Akbar would call upon Tansen to hear his music at various times of the day and night. Sometimes, Akbar would often walk into Tansen's home to hear him practice. He even showered him with presents. Some of the courtiers soon became very jealous of Tansen. They decided to ruin Tansen. One of the courtiers, Shaukat Mia, had an idea. He decided to make Tansen sing Raga Deepak. It was said that if Raga Deepak was sung properly, it would make the air so hot that the singer would be burnt to ashes. Since Tansen was an excellent singer, his death would be assured. Shaukat Mia then went to Emperor Akbar. He told Akbar that a few of the courtiers, including himself, thought Tansen was not a great singer.
Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, was a short clip of one of the notebook videos. We have Achin Bhattacharyya with us. Achin is the founder and CEO of Notebook. Achin himself is a chartered accountant by training, and he was a director at Deloitte prior to starting Notebook. It was his brainchild that said, let's make small, crisp videos to make learning more accessible digitally for every child out there. Achin, we would love to hear from you a little more about Notebook and your feedback on the debate so far.
Sure. Good evening, everyone. So some really impressive performance from our contestants, Abhilakshita, Haripriya, Devangi, and Vishi. Really great show. I like your confidence, passion, positivity, and engaging articulation. And one of the best things that I really liked about today's debate was the kind of logical and spontaneous rebuttal that I saw. See, what happens is debate, discussion, and public discourse are at the heart of any vibrant democracy. So what happens is, as a member of civil society in future, whenever you engage in any discussion with your fellow citizens, any topic that you're debating, and that's quite inevitable, I think it's very important that it will never ever be a one-way communication, right? It will be two-way traffic. So it's not going to be a speech in the podium. So it's very important that you not only speak, but also you carefully listen. You're flexible enough and patient enough to listen to the other person, appreciate his or her views on merit, logically process the information, and respond to it. So I really like the spontaneous rebuttal. That goes a long way to show that all of you are immensely gifted. It's wonderful to see students and schools from across the globe connecting with each other to promote the cause of public speaking. And at Notebook, we really aspire to keep the spirit of students high during this hour of pandemic, when all of you are stuck at home for so many months now. And at Notebook, all of you are really at the heart of our universe, students. We work closely with more than 1 million students who use our platform by accessing our videos. Like we have around 10,000 videos in public domain, just like the one you saw now. Another very important aspect is, irrespective of the result of this debate, to me what is important is positive spirit of participation and the continuous endeavor to improve. I think that should be the spirit. I also thank both the adjudicators, principals of both the schools, and other teachers who have worked hard to mentor all of you. I also congratulate the proud parents. I thank the audience for supporting this endeavor. Your active engagement with 0 hour really means a lot. All the best to our young debaters for the road ahead in life. Look forward to see all of you in our next 0 hour debate at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Thank you, take care and goodbye. Over to you, Shubhayu.
Thank you so much, Achin, for those kind words and the words of encouragement to the participants. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also very proud to have partnered with Save the Children. Save the Children is a 100-year-old NGO who do some phenomenal work across the globe in saving the childhoods of those who are a lot less fortunate than we are. Here we have a short message from their CEO, Ms. Vidisha Pillai. We are fortunate to have Ms. Pillai as part of our webinar Together for Education a few weeks back. Here is her message regarding Save the Children.
Save the Children was born in 1919. 100 years is not a milestone that many organizations or individuals can claim to have reached. And for us, it's been a tireless, relentless journey to ensure that every child has access to their rights. Every child has a voice. But when we look back at 100 years, because 100 is also a time to reflect, we wonder what it would be like to live in a world where children don't need to be saved. Perhaps we could live in a world where Save the Children does not need to exist. And so as we look at the future, we envision a world which is much kinder to its children. A world in which children no longer need to be protected from violence. Where children are not needlessly dying before they turn 5. Where every child is going to school, is learning, is playing, and is on that path towards fulfilling their full potential. As we turn 100, we pledge to work towards that future of a much kinder and brighter world for children. Every day, every hour, every minute, we will continue on that path. But we also know we can't do it alone. We want to work closely with the communities, with our partners, with the government, and most importantly with the children themselves. They are going to be the change makers of tomorrow. Children like Onuyara, like Rahul, like Salman, like Mamta, they are the ones who are breaking gender stereotypes. They are challenging social norms, and they are changing the world and the lives of themselves and also children around them. We pledge to continue working with them, alongside them, to ensure that every child gets the right start. I'm Vidisha Pillai, and I invite you to join Save the Children in our commitment to ensure that every child gets the right start.
Well, we are also extremely happy to tell you that the folks who win the 0 hour debate are also getting offered internships with Save the Children, where they get to work with their wonderful team in saving some more childhoods. That said, I'm sure the audience, the participants possibly hate me now because I've kept them away from their scores for far too long. So these are your scores out of 100 after your first round. Abhilakshita, you're at 85, Haripriya at 74, Debangi at 83, and Ms. Sachdeva at 89. Very, very well done, both teams. So these are how the school's averages stack up. Wisdom Global School Haridwar, 2 speakers at 85 at 89, averaging 87. The KiiT International Bhubaneshwar, 2 speakers at 74 and 83, averaging 79. But the margin is really, really slim, just 8 points. And this is where the audience gets to play a role. Audience, I will now start a poll. You will see a poll appearing on your screen. You have heard 4 wonderful debates. We need to now have you vote for your favorite speaker of the day. The individual that you feel spoke the best today, was the most convincing, gets your vote. You will see the poll appearing on your screen in a few seconds. You'll have the 4 names up there. Just choose the one and submit your vote. You have 1 minute to cast your votes. The vote is live now. You can see it on your screen. Let's see how the voting goes. We are about 35 seconds in. 44 votes out of 51 have come in. Just waiting for the last few votes. Down to the last 5 seconds now. If you haven't already voted, the time to vote ends now. This, ladies and gentlemen, are the result on your screen. Looks like the audience agrees with the judges in their score of the best speaker of the day. Miss Vishi Sachdeva, congratulations. You are our audience choice speaker for the day, which also means that your school gets 25 extra points, which are valuable. While I'm tabulating the scores and bringing up the final tally, I would invite Mr. Burrett back. Sir, we have just heard some phenomenal debating. Would love to hear your thoughts.
Thank you very much, Bayu. Very well done, girls. Excellent speaking. I must say that I was very impressed because I was trying to think of some points that you might have left out. But, you know, honestly speaking, you covered everything. Am I audible, Bayu, or have I gone off?
Yes, sir, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. So I must say, this is the second time I've adjudicated a total girls team, four girls on the debate. And I wonder how many of you are going to change your surnames in about 10 years' time. Certainly, Haripriya and Vishi are going to remain what they are at the moment, according to their debate. I like the way Vishi said that mindsets need to change and not surnames. But I might add here that surnames are kept because of certain mindsets. My surname is very unique. My surname is probably we are the only Burretts in the whole of this country. And so I'm quite unique in my surname. But I must add that my wife comes from Shillong, which is the matriarchal state in this country. So she got her mother's surname. And very strange, my grandchildren take their mother's and father's surname. So they have a double-barreled hyphenated surname. And my daughter, who plays football, does not put Jyoti because there are 100 million Jyotis, but she puts Burrett because it makes her more unique. So having said that, I must congratulate everyone. It's been a very close debate, and it's been decided by the vote mostly. So I look forward to more debating of this quality. Well done, Wisdom Global and KiiT. I shall not forget this debate. It's been quite spectacular. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for those words of encouragement. I'm sure the students will take them to heed. Well, that is the final score up on your screen now. Wisdom Global, you have put 112 marks on the leaderboard. KiiT International, 79 marks. But Debangi and Haripriya, nothing to lose heart. I think your debating was phenomenal today. Very, very well done. Ms. Sachdeva and Abhilakshita, I think you have some celebrating to do. I have no idea about Haridwar's scene right now, whether you can go out for an ice cream, but I surely think you deserve one. So ladies and gentlemen, match 19 of Pool A, winners, Wisdom Global School, Haridwar. It's been a privilege hosting you all. That's all we have for today. We come back tomorrow at 3 o'clock with another. Take care and goodbye.